Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the Just Our Imagination Challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes, but before we get on with the video, I just want to shout out to my grandson Braden. We love you so much, and we miss you, and we think about you all the time. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number 1. So I have this bunny from Dollar Tree, and I am just taking a chip paint from Dollar Tree, and I'm using my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and I'm just going to do a heavy dry brushing all over the front, the back, and the sides of my bunny. If you don't know what a dry brushing is, it's basically where you don't have a lot of paint on your brush and you're letting some of that surface show through. Then I got these from Yasmin. They are Dollar Tree rub-on transfers. Thank you, Yasmin. And I am going to lay that over my bunny. I'm just kind of checking to see where I want to lay it. And then I am just going to do the usual thing of rubbing it all in. And the nice thing about the Dollar Tree rub-on transfers is you can start seeing the color change a little bit. It starts getting lighter when it's adhering to the surface. So you can just be rubbing and start seeing a change in the color, and you know that you can start lifting up that transfer sheet. So I just continued doing that all the way down my bunny. And then when I lifted that last piece off, I saw that some of it came off with it. So I just laid it back down, made sure it was even, and rubbed it a little bit more. And then I was done. After I was done with that, I took 6 of these Jenga blocks that also came from Yasmin, and I'm going to glue them together using my Tight Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue and hot glue, and I'm going to glue all of them side by side, just like you see me doing right there. After that, I thought, okay, I'm going to do another dry brushing with my plaster color. But as I was doing this, I thought, nope, this is not what I want to do. I want to have more contrast. So I finished painting this with my plaster color. And then once it was dry, I took my antique wax and I'm going to brush that all on. Now, normally with my antique wax, we'll brush it on and then wipe off the excess with paper towels. But I did not do that this time. I just left it like that and let it dry. Then a while ago, Kathy Jo sent me these really teeny clay pots. I just thought they were adorable. And I'm going to go ahead and paint both of them with Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery. Now, if you are looking for these pots, you can probably find them on Amazon and maybe even Hobby Lobby. But after they were done, I took some lace ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hot glue it to the back of my bunny. And then I am going to glue that ribbon all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and take some more of that ribbon and just make like a shoestring bow, just kind of like you would make any kind of bow. And then I'm going to glue that to the middle of my bunny, but it still didn't pop out. So I took some twine, made another bow, and put it on top of that to help it stick out a little bit more. Then I'm going to use my Tight Bond glue and some hot glue here, and I'm going to glue this right over that little base that I made with those blocks. And then I'm going to take my little pots and I'm going to use my hot glue to glue those right in front of my bunny. After those were glued on, I took some floral foam. I'm going to cut them in very small pieces and stuff them inside of my pots. And then I'm going to take they call it Spanish moss. I know Spanish moss is usually brown, not green. This is from Hobby Lobby, but I'm just going to cover up the floral foam with that moss. And then these little flowers come off of some flower picks at Dollar Tree that is labeled greenery. And I just cut them off and put them in the pots. And I love how this came out. I think it is adorable. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, today is the second Monday of the month, which means it is the Just Our Imagination Challenge, and I host this with my friend Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo DIYs, and every month we have some must-use items, and then the gang all get together and vote on who they thought was the most creative as well as pretty, and not them pretty, but their project's pretty, and they picked them to be a guest host. And this month we had a tie, so we have 2 guest hosts. We have the sweet Carolyn with Craft classy. And last month she made these sweet pieces out of egg carton, doily, and plastic bags. And then we have Cindy, who's also so sweet, and she's from Z9 Designs, and she made these lovely pieces as well. So make sure you check out their channels if you haven't already and subscribe to them. They are so talented, as well as make sure you check out the playlist and Kathy Joe. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Okay, DIY number 2. So I took an 8 by 10 canvas from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the canvas from it. I started off with my box cutter here, but I was just for some reason having a heck of a time. So I just ended up taking my little pick, pulling up those staples, and then using my little staple remover to just remove them completely. And then I was able to get that canvas completely off. And then after I have it all off, I'm going to go over it with my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to brush it all on and wipe it off with the excess. Now I'm just going to go around the whole frame on the front, the inside, and the outside. I don't do the back side because we're not gonna see the back side, but I did do all of the rest, and you'll see me finish that up here in just a moment. You guys, this is the second time I had to do my voiceover because for some reason, and I don't know why, there was no sound on the last time I did it. Anyways, I took one of the flat canvases, 8 by 10 canvas from Dollar Tree, and some old jeans from Goodwill, and I was figuring out how much of my jeans I wanted to cut out, and I'm going to cut that back pocket out, and then I'm going to take my Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to brush it all on the top part of my canvas board here. And then after that, I'm going to just lay the pants right over that and just kind of brush it all on, make sure it's on there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. Now, that brush that I'm using, Kathy Joe bought me that for my birthday a couple of years ago. I think she got it from Amazon. I love using it for smearing blood. Oh my goodness, for smearing glue. It just comes in so handy. It's rubbery tips and washes right off. Anyways, so once that was on there, I'm going to take my Tite Bond glue here. I'm going to glue the frame right over my jeans, just like you are going to see in just a second or two, or maybe 3. There we go. And then I did clamp them as well and let it sit for a few minutes. Then I took my little finger knife here to trim off the excess, but it just wasn't working all that well. So I do end up using my scissors to cut off all the excess. But some of that canvas board was a little bit bigger than the frame. And so it kind of left some raw edges, and I'll show you what I did with that in a minute. But I'm going to take some of this beautiful lace that I have just a little scrap left of it, and I'm just going to glue some of it along the pocket. I just thought it was so pretty. And then I took that burlap trim. I think Kathy Joe got this for me, I think, or gave it to me, but I'm just going to go around and just kind of hide that edging with the jeans there all around. So I'm just going to go all the way around the frame. And then I have these flowers. These are the flower picks that say they're greenery from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to cut all of the flowers off of the stems. I'm using the purple ones and the pink ones there. And then I'm just going to start filling my pocket and with all of these sweet little bouquets of flowers, and you'll see why in a minute. But anyways, once I'm done with that, I have this little sign from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And then once it was dry, I took a stencil I created with my Cricut, and I'm going to use Folk Arts Vintage Tea Rose, and I am going to brush it all on. I decided to do it this way instead of with my stencil brush. I don't know why, but I did, and it did bleed a little bit. I did have to go back with my plaster and cover up some of the bleed through, but it still turned out very nicely. So once it was all dry, I'm going to remove that vinyl. I like to wait till it's dry. That way it doesn't pull up the paint with it. And then I'm going to remove all those little small pieces. And then I went ahead and took my Waverly Antique Wax and went around and distressed my sign. Now, it says pocket full of posies, which I thought would be so much fun to put on this sign. But I had to look up posies because I'm like, well, what kind of flower are posies? I wonder if I have them. And then it just says it's a bouquet of small flowers. So that's what this is. And then I'm going to just use my Titebond glue here to glue this on the front of my sign. And then I'm just going to take a small sawtooth hanger and hammer that into the back so that we have a way to hang it. And that's all I did for this. I just love how this came out. I love that pocket. I wish the pants were a little bit smaller so that the pocket was more down in the middle and not so big, but I just love it. I hope you do too.
Well, I hope you are enjoying this video. I know that Just Our Imagination Challenge is such a fun challenge. We have so much fun. And I just want to encourage any of you out there that have crafting channels on YouTube. If you have not joined us on Just Our Imagination, I would love it if you would join us. Reach out to me on Instagram, email me, whatever. Let me know you'd be interested in joining. I know some people are kind of worried that it's going to be too hard, but honestly, there are some things that kind of stump us once in a while, but it's fun to overcome that and figure something out. And sometimes it turns out wonderfully, and sometimes it doesn't turn out very well. And that's okay. It's just fun to challenge ourselves and try. I know I've had several that I'm just like, I look back at my pictures and go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I even showed that. That's just ugly. And one comes to mind, and it's a bunny rabbit that I made with a coffee creamer container. But anyways, we won't go there. But don't let that stop you. It's just a lot of fun. And it's fun challenging each other and chatting about it in our group chat. So again, if you have that crafting channel, don't be afraid to reach out to me and join us and join in on the fun. So before we get on with the video, I just want to say welcome. If you're new here, my name is Brenda, and this is my sleepy Oliver, although I don't think he's sleepy. I think it's the lights because they're right in front of us. So I think that's why he always looks like he's sleepy. But anyways, we would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family. That it would be just awesome and mean the world to me. I'm getting close to my 30,000, although it feels like it's taking forever. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about it another time. But if you are returning, you guys know I just appreciate you all so very much. And you guys just mean the world to me. And I'm just so grateful for all of you guys that return every video and watch and comment and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to quit chatting and we're just going to continue on with the video.
Okay, DIY number 3. So I have this scalloped wood tag sign that I bought from Woodpecker Crafts. I absolutely love it. I am an affiliate with them. I have a link to their site in my description box. If you're ever interested in buying, I do get a kickback if you use that link. And then I got this crate from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint both of them with Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Then I'm going to take this Dollar Tree frame and I'm covering this paper that I got from decoupagenapkin.com. I traced it out where I want it to be under that frame, and then I'm going to cut it all out. I was going to use the water technique on it, and I thought, it's just not going to matter. You're not going to see the edge, so I just ended up cutting it. Then I traced it out again on my tag sign and went over inside of that trace and went over it with my Mod Podge. I'm going to brush it all on and let it dry for a minute or two because I had to go take Oliver out while it was drying. And then I laid my cute little paper there down in that circle, covered it with my parchment paper to protect it, went over it with my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge, and then covered it again with some more of the Mod Podge, just a small amount so that it has that protective coat. Now, if you like to do decoupage different way, you do you. This is just the way I like to do it. So then I took this frame and I'm going to go ahead and go over it with my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to brush it all on and then use a paper towel to wipe off all the excess. After that, I am going to, I did make sure it was dry too, by the way. I'm going to take my antique wax and I'm going to go ahead and do some distressing all around the sides of this sign and a little bit in the middle. Now, if you want to recreate this, you don't even have to use this tag sign. You could use a Dollar Tree tag sign if you can find them. I can't find tag signs with them right now, which I'm really disappointed in their inventory lately. They just don't have much. But you could use any tag sign, any kind of sign, and any kind of napkin or decoupage paper that you might have. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my Tite Bond glue here to glue that frame in place. Now it does hang over the edge on the sides of this tag sign just a tad, not very much, but I wasn't worried about it because I didn't think it looked bad at all. So I'm just going to glue that over my picture here, just making sure it all lines up perfectly. Then I'm going to take some antique wax again, and I'm just going to distress the crate so that it matches my tag sign. And after that was dry, I'm going to take my Tite Bond glue and some hot glue, and I'm going to put it all along my crate, and I'm going to glue that to my tag sign. I really don't know why I use hot glue when I do this, because most of the time it dries fast enough that I didn't need the hot glue, but it's just kind of habit sometimes. I'm going to glue in some floral foam, and then I have 3 different kinds of lavender. These came from Dollar Tree, and then I think some came from Walmart and some came from Temu, but I'm just going to fill in this crate with my lavender. I just love lavender. I think it's so pretty because it's purple, my favorite color. But once it was filled, I took some of this purple burlap ribbon I got from Amazon. I don't know how the size of it, but I glued it end to end, scrunched it up in the middle, took some of this pretty ribbon from Sam's Club, scrunched it up in the middle, and I am going to put those together just like you see. And then I'm going to use some twine to tie them together. And yeah, and then I dovetailed the ends, which I'll show you again. I'll dovetail it. I had originally made this bigger and it didn't look good on my sign. I put it at the top, but it was covering up the scallop edges and I didn't like that. So I did have to cut it all down. And then I decided to just put the bow right in the front of the crate instead, just because I really like the scalloped edge on that tag sign and I did not want to cover it up, but I just love how this came out. It's so pretty. I hope you like it as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have Crystal made all these pretty pieces. I love her hearts and their house. That rock cross is so pretty. Thank you so much, Crystal. And then we have Liz. Look at all of her pretty pieces that she's making with her bee themed. I love it, Liz, and I can't wait to do some bee themed stuff myself. And then Kathy, look at her sweet little sign. I love it. Thank you so much, ladies. And if you have something that you have created that you would like me to showcase, you can email pictures to my email address, that is rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 4.
Okay, here are our must-use items for this month. So I call these shower sponges. They call it bath sponge, but I picked these. And then I also picked, or not me, I'm sorry, Carolyn picked seed starter, or we call them peat pots. So those I love using. They are fun to use. I've used them many times, but I'm going to try and think of a more creative way to use them than I've used in the past. Now, Kathy Jo, she was probably the one that picked the hardest. She picked a fly swatter. And I was lucky when I went to Dollar Tree, I found these flower-shaped fly swatters. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I could do something fun with those. And then Miss Cindy, she gave us this cutting boards. And when she picked them, I'm like, haven't we used those before? No, we haven't. I am excited. These are not the newer ones, I don't think. They look bigger, but it doesn't say new. So but I got a couple of these cutting boards from Dollar Tree. So this is this month's must-use items. And I don't think they're that bad. I kind of have some ideas. Let's see if I go with those ideas. But yeah, let's see what I created with them.
Okay, so I'm going to take the fly swatters and I'm going to take my box cutter here. And I'm going to just cut the middle of it. And I cut this probably 4 or 5 times. And then I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm just going to start pulling that plastic away right where I had cut it. And it didn't take very long, but I did just have to kind of keep picking at it. I tried to pull the metal handle off, but it just wouldn't budge. I tried to cut it, it was too thick, so this was the best way I was able to get that apart. Then after that, I went ahead and painted both of those with Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. Then I'm going to take this shower sponge. I'm going to cut off the little tie that's around it. Now I have 3 different colors. This is why I bought it. Although I was sad, I was like, I want to use this for myself because it's my favorite color. But anyways, I am going to take it and I'm going to twist the end of it, and just to kind of make it smaller, I'm going to glue it together and just kind of twist. And then I'm going to glue it around my fly swatter. Now, I originally was thinking of just gluing it to the back and making the fly swatter like the middle of the flower, but it just wasn't looking right. So this is what I came up with. So I'm just going to continue to kind of loosely twist. I didn't want it super tight. I wanted it to be a little bit looser. And I'm just going to glue this all around that fly swatter. I'm going to continue going all around the middle until I use up that whole purple piece. And then I'm just going to finish it off, gluing that in there. And then I'm going to take the white and I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of twist loosely. And I'm going to just fill in that middle piece with my white shower sponge. I'm going to take my 2 cutting boards from Dollar Tree and I'm going to connect them together using these giant craft sticks from Walmart, some wood glue and hot glue. I'm just going to glue them all in place there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a dry brushing, which is, it's really more of a thicker coating of the paint. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm just painting it with my plaster, and I didn't do a super thick coat. You can still kind of see some of the cutting boards behind it. So then I'm going to take my hot glue and glue these little fly swatters to my board. Fly swatters. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm going to glue them on, and then I have a what are these? Lamb's ear piece from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to glue this stem from that lamb's ear down. And then I'm going to take some of the leaves and glue them over that stem. And I had a smaller stem part that I did on the bottom one too. You just can't see it. I had my tablet in front of me because I was talking to Kathy Joe. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to take one of these peat pots and I'm going to cut it in half. And I love working with these. They cut so nicely and they take the paint so nicely, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just trim it all down. I have these snap stamps that I bought from Michael's, I think it was a couple of years ago, and I never use them. But I'm going to this time. I'm going to use my black ink, and before I stamp it, I'm just going to use a baby wipe to kind of wipe off the ink on the edges, and then I'm going to stamp it to my peat pot. And I'm going to use the next word, which is spring. And then I forgot to hit record. So I glued it on. And then I went around the edge with some of my braided jute cord that I love so much. I get from Amazon. I went around the sign with it. And I also used that for a hanger. And I just stapled in it to the back of the board since there's thicker boards. And there it is, my fly swatter shower sponge flowers. I hope you like them. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. And the final reveal is coming right up. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before. And if you already have, make sure you are still subscribed, because you know YouTube likes to do that weird thing sometimes. But anyways, make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, hype, share this video, all that fun stuff before you go. And I will be back again on Thursday with another video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.